This is a big heavy lump of potential. 4 years ago, it was skillfully manoeuvred from where it had fallen and placed into the field where it has sat ever since. Even though we have a number of trees on the ground on our small holding, some dating back to the '87 storm, this is the one James gave the thumbs up to for our first ever foray into sawmilling.
I'm pretty excited to start opening it up and see what it looks like on the inside. Because we're cutting dimensional timber out of it, we can change which way around the cuts are going to be, and we can try and work around any cracks that we find. I mean, I think this is going to be a pretty good log. I think that's why we chose to do this one, and after all the ones that you showed me, this was probably the best bit.
James Vann is a local tree surgeon, chainsaw instructor and sawmiller, and he's come over to try and extract some useful lumber from this decent sized oak.
The idea is to turn this log into some usable timber and possibly into the form of floorboards.
One piece of kit I didn't expect to see today is a landmine detector,
which has saved me quite a few quid over the years finding stuff. It will pick stuff up through even the whole thickness of this tree if it's on its highest sensitivity, but I'm kind of just looking for stuff that's on the very outside, because if it's in the middle of the tree, I'm not going to be able to cut it out until we start milling it anyway. I'm just going to turn it down a bit. Problem is with this, if you leave it on full sensitivity, you'll just start picking stuff up on the floor or your boots. It's making all the right sounds so far. I'm just checking. No, that's pretty good.
To start with, James wants to neaten up the log. To me, it feels like a waste, but you soon realise you need to trim the fat to produce a nice clean product. What's very cool is his chainsaw has been tuned. So that's not any old saw then?
No, this has been like ported, the timing's been advanced. It's got a little bonus exhaust pipe on it. No, I think it's got no baffles in the exhaust.
So you've tuned it?
I haven't done it myself, I paid someone to do it. This is out of my understanding.
Okay.
I've had this saw since new. It's in 2009, one of the first saws that I bought.
Wow. Wow, that's an endorsement for steel.
Yeah.
What's the bar?
It's got a 20-inch bar.
Okay.
With a skip tooth chain on it. Unlike a normal chain, it's got less teeth.
Oh yeah.
On, so it misses a couple out each time.
And the reason for that is what?
Just so it can, I mean, realistically the reason is when I bought a chain online, they didn't have the one that I wanted, so I just settled with this one. That's the reason. I didn't want it, but I needed a chain for that week, and I've had it since. Cuts all right. It's less teeth to sharpen, so.
With the log in a good spot with enough room around it, he starts setting up the mill. It takes about half an hour to get it all lined up.
It kind of works off of just like leveling everything around the log. You just do it by eye.
There are three main mobile saw options for getting usable timber from a fallen tree. The Alaskan sawmill is the simplest, which is a chainsaw guided by rails, then the bandsaw and the Lucas. James will be using a Lucas mill today, developed in Australia for heading off into the outback. He likes it because it fits in the back of his van.
I'm sure there are probably some mobile bandsaw mill operators that would be able to process this one way or the other, but I doubt that they would be able to do it as quickly as we'll be able to get through it and cut it into the product we're going to cut it into. I mean, the chainsaw mill would be good for cutting big wide slabs out of this, but you know, for the project that you want to use it for, that's not really that useful. There's only so many big dining tables that you would need in a house.
can you guesstimate how much the value of the timber would be getting out of it?
I mean, it would be in the thousands for sure. I mean, it's hard to say until we start actually cracking it open and seeing what the quality of it. Yeah, it could be about £5, or it could be, I don't know, 2 or 3 grand maybe in floor, especially when it's seasoned and turned into stuff. But the process is long. It's not just about milling it. You know, you've then got to season it properly and stack it up properly so you don't ruin it by like warping and twisting, and then you've got to machine it and turn it into whatever type of floorboards it's going to be in, and they've got to be fitted. So it's not like we're not taking this straight from a tree, putting it into your house. It's still, you know, a long-term project. Starts with ambition, doesn't it? And then it'll end up sat in your shed rotting instead of in the log out here.
Going to see this. All right. James begins cutting into the trunk to reach the solid-looking wood. Think?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's very hard. You can hear it as it's cutting through how hard the wood is. I think we'll do a couple of layers of stickers and then see what it looks like from there on.
It may look as dry as a bone on the outside, but you go in literally 2 inches.
Yeah, and it's almost.
That's really wet. You can feel
Yeah, yeah. It's not quite green, but it's certainly holding on to a lot of moisture.
Finally, we start milling the boards. The process is loud, but with hearing protection, enjoyable, even relaxing to watch. The question I've really been wanting to ask is what we can expect to get out of this oak.
Probably about 50 or 60 good ones, and then a number of like lesser quality boards with shake or little bits of rotting, but it's kind of how it is with big old trees like this. They're not grown specifically for creating timber.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of work with what you get, but there'll definitely be some good stuff amongst it all.
At about the halfway point, James explains the character of the wood that is starting to appear.
You can see these like medullary rays that kind of show up at certain angles, and we can't see them amazingly now because it's rough sawn, but where it's just rained a little bit, it's kind of brought them out and made them a little bit more prominent. But we're going to start cutting some boards out of these, particularly these sections, so we get, when they're sanded and oiled, we get these patterns really popping out of the timber. I think they're formed basically by how the tree transfers nutrients up and down when this part of the tree was actually alive.
James tries to make them stand out using some water, but it doesn't quite deliver the desired effect.
Oh, that did nothing.
I don't know, you caress it and go, oh, look at that. Oh, there we go. There we go. A little bit.
A little bit.
With the oak taking its toll on the cutting edge, James uses the sharpener on the teeth before the last push. From start to finish, it's taken most of the day. It's still a very satisfying day's graft. So what did we get, do you reckon? About 60, 70?
60, 70 boards, yeah, I think. There's some really, really prime stuff in there amongst some of it, which is always good.
Do you still find satisfaction out of it, or is it?
Oh, especially when it's all stacked up nicely and it's sat somewhere for a little bit, and you can think of the projects that you're going to use it for, or someone's going to use it for in the future. It is satisfying. I think the fact it's quite hard work as well. At the end of the day, you feel pretty good when you go home and you sit on the sofa and you like feel like you've done a day's work.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Physical labour gives you that satisfaction. It's weird. It's sort of like it's a really nice fatigue.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I found it way easier to deal with than like mental fatigue. And you find it a lot easier to fall asleep at night as well when your body's worn out.
Well, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
To book a sawmill with operator costs between £300 and £500 for the day. What you achieve will depend on how much prep you've done. Access is of course important, as there's lots of kit. Nice straight lengths of timber make life easier, and of course you will need dry storage for possibly years. Now, the one thing that's been really difficult to represent is the smell. Now, if you're a whiskey drinker, you will appreciate this, because this smells of whiskey, or the other way around really. Whiskey smells and tastes of oak, and just the fragrance of this is extraordinary. I mean, it really is gorgeous. How long that will last, I don't know, but yeah, it is absolutely lovely. If you want to book James, who's based near Tunbridge Wells, head to his website, summerhill-woodwork.com, where you can see he does more with wood than just millet